Hi there, welcome to EDH Gardens. Today in this video we're going to share with you a couple of activities we did in the garden this week. Stay with us, we're going to show you covering the shade house, digging soil into the planting beds, adding compost and fertilizer. Come and let's take a look. Today we're going to put shade fabric on our shade house. In the winter we call it a greenhouse because it keeps the plants warm, and in the summer we call it a shade house because it gives us about 10% shade. We've gone past the summer solstice, long days, very hot days. So we're going to add a shade fabric. It's going to cut out an additional 40%. Our primary goal is to shade the western part of this house and the top. This is the eastern part of the shade house, and it's okay if we let a little extra light in because the eastern light is so soft. Plants will enjoy that. By adding this additional 40% filtration of sunlight to the 10% that we already had from the structure of our shade house, we're hoping to really prolong the leafy phase of our greens growing. We grow lettuce and kale, basil, green onions, anything that we consume the leaves of. We want to prolong that leafy phase and avoid the unproductive flowering phase. Here in the shade house, we have two planting beds that are ready to be replanted. These lettuces that have started to go to seed, and we'll be putting in some compost, rototilling, and planting seeds. I planted seeds in the house and sprouted them there, but what I'm finding is that they really want to be out in the sun. So when I bring them out here, they just get way too hot. So it's much better to germinate the plants in the soil, and that's what I plan to do once we replant in here, update compost into the soil. We've got some lettuce growing here. This is a new red fire variety that is really starting to produce flower rather than leaves. So I'm going to do a last harvest once I pull all these out. These plants are such vigorous growers, and they produce such gorgeous lettuce. My family just loves the flavor of this red leaf lettuce. As I'm cutting this plant, I just thought I'd share one of the main things I'm trying to do here is figure out which varieties are truly heat resistant, because a lot of varieties of lettuce will tell you they're heat resistant and that they won't go to flower, but I find that it's not necessarily true here. But this new red fire lettuce has really done well here, and it is truly heat resistant, so I'm excited to have found this lettuce. We're collecting compost from our dormant bin to spread down in the shade house. We're going to plant some new seeds. So let's open it up and dump it out on the tarp that we have. We'll give it one more nice spin. Looks really good. How's it look? Good? See the eggshell? It's going to add calcium, just what the plants need. Got some nice little worms, all kinds of insects and things in there. Just transferring that good compost into a bin that we can transport it down into the shade garden with. We're bringing the compost down to the garden, dumping it out in the beds we cleared. It's going to add a lot of nice organic material to the planting beds for our next rotation of our succession planting. Next we'll rake it out, put in a little bit of organic fertilizer, and then we'll get our mini rototiller and bring it down and rototill around. Get this good material dug into the soil. This is just what our plants need to grow healthy and strong. This organic material helps the soil hold on to moisture, which is the key when you're gardening in a hot climate. We've got our mini rototiller, little ear protection. condition of the soil is really good. It's just ideal for growth. So we'll give it just a day or so to rest and come back into balance, and then we'll plant our seeds, maybe some of the seedlings we've been growing in pots. A lot of real estate here to grow some great stuff. It's good that it's right there in the soil because it's going to help keep it cool. Ground level gardening is the way to go in a hot climate. We use stepping stones inside the shade house to help us avoid compacting the soil in the planting duds. They're moist, they're loamy, they're full of air and microbes, and we want to avoid stepping on the soil once it's so beautifully prepared. So it was very simple to put down these stepping stones. They were very inexpensive. Makes gardening a pleasure.